What's up, party people out there?
You talking to me?
Are you ready to dive into sobriety, party people?
Huh?
We are jamming today in this video with Bradley Cooper. We're diving deep with Jordan Peterson.
Well, I shouldn't do anything, man, you know.
Who you all seem to hate, but whatever. Laughing it up with Robin Williams, and let's go on a little bit of a crazy wild ride with Steve-O. But hold up. Let's talk about it for a second. Let's get real. Addictions, they're lurking everywhere. Alcohol, that's sneaking into that creeps up on you. Yeah, if you're still letting it control your life, well, you might just be a bit of an idiot. I mean, come on. I've never met anyone who said, gee, I wish I never got sober. Because sobriety is unlocking the ultimate level of your life. It's a level up. Think about it. More money in your pocket, more time to do what you love, a body that looks amazing and feels great, and relationships that are deeper and more genuine. And let's not be shy. Way, way better sex. So, if you're ready to supercharge every aspect of your life, hop on this roller coaster today with us. If you decide to quit drinking today, it's the best decision you will ever make. Let's dive in.
They had this monkey ranch on St. Kitts, and they used to go down there and study the effects of alcohol on green monkeys, which 5% of whom would drink to coma on first exposure. And they had videotapes of these damn monkeys drinking, and it looked like a frat party, you know, but 5% of them on first exposure would drink to coma. And those were the monkeys that had a biological predisposition to alcoholism. And alcohol is a really bad drug, you know. It's 50% of murders take place in an alcohol-fueled environment. Either the victim or the perpetrator or both is drunk. It's almost the sole cause of domestic abuse. It's almost the sole cause of so-called date rape. If you dig into criminal behavior deeply enough, well, hell, you don't have to dig much at all before you find alcohol. It's also the only drug we know that actually makes people more aggressive. And not merely because they don't know what they're doing. We did experiments at McGill showing that if you took drunk people and put them in a competitive environment where they could be aggressive and had them keep track of their aggression so they were actually conscious of it, they became more aggressive even rather than less. So yeah, alcohol's bad news, and it can turn perfectly good people into quite the impulsive and dim-witted monsters.
You know, alcoholism. I went to rehab in wine country just to keep my options open. And the idea of, you know, these are things you got to talk about.
Well, you got your own vineyard.
Yes, that's like Gandhi owning a delicatessen. Yeah, what are you doing? This is not for my consumption.
So you were dry for 20 years.
Yes.
Why did you fall off?
I was in a little town in Alaska. It wasn't the end of the world, but you can see it from there. And it was like all of a sudden I thought, I could drink. It's also that same thought you have if you look off a large building and go, I can fly. And within a week it was like, gone, you know. And now, you know, I realize I can't. So that was the gift, you know.
How vividly can you remember falling into the trap in the first place with cocaine and alcohol?
I don't vividly remember anything from that. It's like there is this thing for alcoholics called a blackout, which isn't really a blackout. It's more like sleepwalking with activities. And I believe it's your conscience going into a witness protection program, going, you're about to have sex with a hobbit. I've got to go now. Good luck. I'm checking out. I'm leaving the body on, but we're not going to remember anything. Good luck to you. Take care. Not hard once you go to rehab. I mean, rehab is, that's the beginning of kind of, you know, the idea is you got to surrender. You got to just say, I can't do it. Because, you know, I went to rehab with a lot of doctors and psychiatrists. And the more intelligent you think you are, the harder it is to let go. You think, I've got a solution. I'll just drink a little bit. It's like saying, I'll just partially circumcise myself. I'll be fine. And then you have to go, nope, you lose. You can't do it. You need help. And at that point, that's the beginning.
How hard was it for you to get sober?
Fear was a big motivator in that for me. You know, losing my family was the thing that scared me so much. That was the bottom I hit, that my family's going to go away because of my behaviors that I brought home from the road. I got kicked out of the house by my wife. I was living on my own somewhere, and I did not want that.
How long have you been sober now?
15 years.
Did it start out when you first started doing it? Did it feel like as you broke through and you went to therapy and you got out of rehab and you're going through this whole thing, was there like a shaky leg period where you're like, man, I mean, do I know who I am anymore?
Oh, absolutely. That was it. That is, you know, the power of the mind and how here's how my life works, and to actually just completely throw that away and start over. It's like, well, wait a minute, who am I without this? I can't talk to people. I'm anxious. I'm shy. I'm all of the stuff that I thought booze was helping me with, or booze, drugs, women, shopping, eating, gambling. There's so many things that can manifest out there that it all goes back to one core thing. It's like, I don't really know who I am.
You asked me earlier on, Tim, like, when did I know I had a problem? Like, I knew I had a problem very early on in my drinking career, but that's very different from the willingness to do anything about it. Like, I harbored this notion that this was a problem for me, but you're also protecting it because you want to be able to keep doing it. And that's what leads to, this sort of double life where you're hiding your behavior from other people and deluding yourself into thinking that they don't know what's going on. But ultimately you realize, like, everybody knows what's going on. And on some level, it's a process of, like, stripping away those layers of denial until you can really, face the objective truth of what you're doing. And that's a very terrifying thing. And so that's kind of what was going on inside of me.
Because I started drinking when I was pretty young, like 14, and I had a certain degree of social anxiety. I mean, I'm very extroverted, but I think everybody has a certain degree of social anxiety when they're like 14, because, like, what the hell do you know, and that's probably exacerbated around girls. And that alcohol, because it enhances sociability and also suppresses anxiety, is a good social anxiety medication. But the problem is you don't learn how to conduct yourself as a sober individual in social circumstances.
Yes.
And you learn very rapidly to rely on the alcohol, not only as a social lubricant, but as the basis of your social behavior. And I would say, to young people who are watching, listening, that's a stupid plan. You should learn how to be in a social group with others when you're sober so that you bloody well know how to do it, especially if you're planning to do anything even vaguely serious and responsible with your life, which is, probably something you should be doing.
I realized I had a problem. And with those few words, Bradley Cooper is opening up about his struggle with drugs early in his career. Here's Will Reeve.
On the podcast Smartless, hosted by Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, and Sean Hayes.
I know you're not supposed to cry on this show, I'm sorry. it's pretty emotional. I didn't know Will that well then. And he was like, hey man, do you remember we had dinner the other night? And Will Arnett told me, he's like, you were a real. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. And by the way, have your dogs gone out to the bathroom? And I was like, what? No, what time is it? It's 4:00. Oh no, I think they have to go to the bathroom. They're literally standing by the door. And that was like the first time I ever realized I had a problem with drugs and alcohol.
Detailing the darkness of his cocaine addiction during his younger years, starting out in Hollywood.
Couldn't get into any clubs, like no girls wanted to really look at me. Like, it was like, what? I mean, totally depressed. It wasn't until really Hangover. I was 36 when I did The Hangover. So I got to go through all of those things before fame even played into my existence on a daily level.
It has been awesome seeing you in this place and seeing you comfortable. Nothing has made me happier. It's made me happy to see you so happy with who you are.
Cooper now sober for over 15 years. He's also helped his famous friends get sober, which Brad Pitt thanked him for in 2020.
I got sober because of this guy, and every day has been happier ever since.
I have to be honest with you, our next guest story has been a challenge for my team to produce. That's because his journey and comedy are not daytime friendly. He's made a career with admittedly attention-seeking stunts like making himself shark bait, snorting wasabi, and even tightrope walking over an alligator pit. That's what he does for a living. He was paid for it, and well. I'm talking about the one and only Steve-O. He is one of the breakout stars of the hit MTV show and film series Jackass. And to be clear, you should not attempt any of the stunts that he does today, if he does any, or any of the ones that he does for that matter. But for over 20 years, Steve-O's built a massive cult following. I watched his career from afar over all of those years, his skateboarding, his behavior, his reckless pranks, you might say. But another thing as a journalist that always intrigued me about him was this other side of his life. Because now at almost 50 years old, Steve-O says he never thought he would be alive today. Not because of all of that stunt and all that, but because of his excessive drinking. and his years of abuse of drugs. Take a look. While he calls himself a professional idiot, Steve-O has built an impressive career by Hollywood standards. He's had 4 #1 box office hits. His Jackass franchise has grossed over $400 million worldwide. Steve-O says if people were shocked and disgusted by his debauchery on camera, his drinking and drug abuse behind the scenes was even worse.
Hi. Make any sense? Of course I'm making perfect sense.
In 2008, fearing for his life, Steve-O's co-star staged an intervention that ended with him involuntarily committed. Now 14 years sober, Steve-O's latest book, subtitled What I've Learned from a Lifetime of Terrible Decisions, details how he has survived what he calls his whack-a-mole of addictions and self-abuse.
Alcoholism is the only disease where when you treat it and recover from it, you become a better version of yourself than you were before.
I became a drug addict, I think, because of emotional difficulties, psychological difficulties, and perhaps a spiritual malady. As the great Tupac Shakur said, role is something people play, model is something that people make. Both of those things are fake. What I want to offer people is truth and authenticity.
Russel Brand, a little Tupac in front of Parliament right there. Always interesting. Well, now Russell is sharing the details of his long list of addictions, from heroin, sex, food, and more, to how he got clean. The new book is called Recovery, Freedom from Our Addictions. Welcome, Russell.
Hi, Russell.
This is such a thought-provoking book because it's not just for people who are addicted to substances. It's for people who are addicted to their tablets, their iPhones. It's a little bit of everything in our lives. We're all addicts in some way, aren't we?
Yes, I think we're living in an age of addiction because addiction is, in a way, a technique for dealing with pain. There's a massive opiate crisis in this country, and everywhere you look, every time you turn on the news, evidence of pain, evidence of people's inability to deal with the way that they are feeling. The way that I got clean from drugs, I've learned in the 15 years almost since then, thank you, that those techniques will work for any kind of pain. They connect you to a deeper part of yourself and make living in this difficult world manageable.
How did you do it? We're celebrating almost 15 years, which congratulations, but what was it? What was the final thing?
Do you mean with like drugs?
Or with everything? Because for you, when you read the book, what I love is how you break down the 12 steps and then how you really saw the 12 steps. And was there one moment that was finally a big turning point?
Well, in a way, I was quite lucky because I was addicted to crack and heroin. Those drugs cause social problems pretty quickly. You get in trouble with the police, you end up in hospital. It's difficult to ignore. If you've got anyone who's been around people with food addiction issues knows how much pain and chaos that can create in a family. But I suppose you get fast-tracked when you've got a drug problem. I was getting in a lot of trouble with the police. I was having a lot of difficulties all the time. But what I've noticed since getting clean from drugs is that the condition itself, the feeling, will migrate and morph onto anything. You can get obsessed with relationships, you can get obsessed with money, you can get obsessed with staring at your screen, watching too much TV, anything that takes you out of yourself. For me personally, it was when the pain became unmanageable. But what I think is curious is that we'll attach it to anything. Look at how many people you know in your own life that are affected by addiction. It's everywhere.
Everybody.
The first step is acknowledging that you are powerless over your addiction and that your life has become unmanageable. Just admitting I don't want to be in this situation.
Okay, so there's 2 parts to that admission, One is that you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And I guess there's 3. You're in trouble and it's serious. Things could be better, and you don't have the wherewithal at the moment to make them better. So the thing that's interesting about that is there's a kind of radical humiliation and humility that goes along with that. So you say, I have a problem, and what I know at the moment isn't sufficient to solve it. Great, because now you've opened yourself up to the possibility of learning something. Because you say, I don't know enough to fix this. It's like, okay, well, you could learn. And one of the things that's so interesting about people is that if they decide they have a problem, and they also notice that they could learn, the probability that they will learn goes way up.